have
one.
a question, Rita. What do you have over top of that painting? Is that like those crystal bag?
Oh no, this was actually the glass.
Oh,
This
that's
is
glass.
it's a good question. This is how I frame my small ones. I don't use spacers. I frame it in what's called the, I'm probably butchering the pronunciation for you French-speaking people, but the Passe Partout method, where
Yes.
it's taping all the way around the edges
And
completely.
you're using a clear tape because I don't see tape.
Yeah, I use a clear tape. I use this tape right here, which is a JLR tape. It's acid-free, and it's used commonly for like book repair.
Okay.
So it doesn't fade or crack or dry up or anything. It sticks forever. It's like,
And so you only have a thin piece around the outside and then the rest is at the back?
yeah, and so the bottom, if you can kind of
Oh.
see, it's
Yeah.
it's over the front about less than a quarter inch across the front. And then I wrap it around the side and stick that, and then I wrap it around the back, and I try to get it as tight as I can. So this is not, it's not going to shift. It's not going to slide. It's not going anywhere.
And it's not going to let any condensation in there.
Correct.
Yeah.
And what Richard McKinley has on a blog post, one of his posts on one of those artist network posts, he uses like just framers tape. This is framers tape, which is also acid free. And I tried this too, and it works just the same, but I find this to be just a little bit, I don't know, it's like not quite as flexible or something. It works. But I've been using the clear for so long that I'm used to using the clear.
Okay.
Either one will work just fine. And the way that he writes about this is that it doesn't matter if you use spacers. Spacers are like an option. If you want to use spacers, go ahead and use spacers, but frame it the same way, tape all the way around.
Oh.
If you don't use spacers, tape all the way around. It doesn't really matter if you use spacers or not. But this is the correct way to keep your glass on your painting.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what type of glass or acrylic do you use?
I use any of the brands that have a anti-reflective option.
Yeah.
So not to be confused with non-glare.
Yes, it's not the same.
Yeah, the non-glare is like that smoky sort of etched kind of look. The anti-reflective actually, so you can see my selfie light reflected. I'll show you the difference between that and, say, a regular piece of glass. All right, it's kind of big, but this is just an ordinary piece of glass here. See all those reflections? You see the window in front of me, and you see my computer. That's regular glass. This is anti-reflective glass. So the only reflection you see is the direct light, and even that is muted. You don't see anything else.
Yeah.
Until you get that direct light reflected. So that's the beauty of this. Earlier on when I was starting off doing like art festivals and stuff, and I was just using ordinary glass, and one of my first mentors, like a local artist here, and all of his were behind this, and I just admired his work so much because it just looked so beautiful hanging up. You couldn't see the glass. And he told me about the glass. He said, you got to try it. You'll never go back. He was right. Once you use the good glass like this, there's just no comparison. And plus, the slightly more expensive, here in my face, the slightly more expensive glass is, just up your prices by, 5%, 10%. And people will buy it. People will want to buy it more because it looks so good in this glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you were to mail that to somebody, do you have it behind glass like that and then package it good, or do you?
If it's not framed, I don't include the glass.
Okay.
If it's not framed, I just cover it with glassine. I have a post about that. I think I had it first on my blog from way back, and I think I put it on Patreon also. Just look on my index page and look for like tag word framing or whatever, or it's one of the earlier posts about packing unframed pastels for shipping.
Okay.
So it's on there. And then if I frame it, I'll pack the painting. I don't think I have a post about that yet, but I'll have it in the frame and I'll line it with foam board on the top and bottom and the corners. I'll tape it so it'll have like a little package of foam board around it. And I don't know why I do that. I just think it looks better and kind of psychologically at least adds another layer of protection. I think probably I do it just in case it goes through any transport that gets hot. And I don't know about how bubble wrap, if it's just around the frame itself, if that plastic of the bubble wrap would like damage any of the finish on the frame. I don't know.
I don't know.
Probably not. I don't know, but I've always just lined them with foam board and then wrapped them with bubble wrap, and then I'll tape my little package of a handwritten note and my bio and a couple cards. I'll tape that onto the foam board packaging, and then I'll bubble wrap it and build a box around it. I actually trained my son to do my packaging for me, so he usually does all of that now. I'll just give him a post-it and say, this painting needs to be framed and packed for shipping, and he'll come out here and do that for me.
Nice. Yes.
I put parchment paper in between the bubble wrap and the glass instead of the foam board. I just put parchment, you know, the glassine, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. So it's just kind of like pre-wrapped.
Yeah.
With paper and then bubble wrapped. Yeah.
Or you can cut a piece that just lies flat on top of the glass.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think I was more concerned about the finish of the frame itself.
Oh, then the glass. Okay.
Then, yeah. I mean, I don't know if, I think probably because one time I had a Post-it note, the sticky part of the Post-it note, stuck onto one of those gold leaf frames.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had noted something, and I just stuck that on there, not knowing what happened. Well, by the time I finally took that Post-it off, it pulled all the gold leaf off. Like, I won't do that again. So I didn't know about just like the plastic of bubble wrap. If pushing up against a frame, it probably wouldn't damage like the dark wood frames or whatever. But if it's a gold leaf frame, I don't know. I just didn't want something like that. I'd rather use, you know, at least foam board is a paper covered, and it probably wouldn't do any damage. And I haven't had any complaints since. In fact, sometimes I get compliments saying that I packed it so well. You know, I'm like, all right. You know, whether it's necessary or not, I don't know, but I think it adds a little extra impressiveness.